Today we are going to look into two-step functions. So we've already used the two-step functions when we're given the input. That's what we're going to start off with. But we're going to look at how we would solve those when we're given the output and we're finding the input. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm going to highlight those values. So we've got our x values that I'm going to highlight and our y values that I'm going to highlight so I remember where they go in the function. So for the first one, we are given the value of 11 for x, so we're plugging it in where x is. We don't know why. We know that x is 11, so we're doing 7 times 11 plus 4. So now we're just going to evaluate. 7 times 11 is 77. 77 plus 4 is 81. Now let's look at it if we are given the output with this two-step function. So now we're given the y value that we need to plug in on the left where y is. So 109 equals, this time we don't know x, so 7x plus 4. Now we have a two-step equation that we need to solve. So I'm going to highlight the side that the variable's on. This is where we should be doing all of our inverse operations. So we're going to start with our constant, always. Since we're adding 4, the opposite would be to subtract 4 from both sides. It should cancel out on the side with the variable. I bring down what's left, so 7x is left. On this side, 109 minus 4 is 105. Still looking at the side that has our variable, which is the right side. X is being multiplied by 7, so the opposite is to divide both sides by 7. It should cancel out on the side with the variable. On the left side, 105 divided by 7 is 35. So our input value is 35. You can always check to make sure you did that right by doing it the reverse way, plugging it in for x and seeing if you get 109. Let's do one more like that. We're given the y value of 158, so I plug that in on the left. We don't know our x value, so equals 7x plus 4. Here we've got a two-step equation that we need to solve. I'm going to highlight the variable. We always start on the side with the variable. We're going to get rid of the constant first. So plus 4, the opposite is to subtract 4 from both sides. Cancels out on the side with the variable, bring down what's left, so 7x. 158 minus 4 is 154. Still looking at the side that has the variable, which is the right side. X is being multiplied by 7, the opposite is to divide both sides by 7. Should cancel out on the side with the variable. On the left side, 154 divided by 7 is 22. So if you notice, if you look at these two, it looks like the exact same steps, just with some different numbers on the left. We subtracted 4 first, then we divided by 7. It should be the same process each time. Let's look at another one. So again, I'm going to highlight my input, my x values, and note where that is in the equation, and I'm going to highlight my output values, and note where that is plugged in the equation. So again, first starting with the input, that's pretty easy just to plug in where x is. So we don't know y, but we know that x is 3. So we're going to evaluate. Y equals 6 times 3 is 18, minus 8, y equals 10. Now going for the reverse, we're given the output, the y value we plug in on the left here. So 196. This time we don't know x, so equals 6x minus 8. Now we have our two-step equation that we need to solve. Again, I'm highlighting the side that has the variable. We're going to use our inverse or opposite operations. If we're subtracting 8, the opposite is to add 8 to both sides. Again, remember, we always start with the constant. The side with the variable, it should cancel out. We bring down what's left, 6x. Over here, 196 plus 8 is 204. Still highlighting the side that has the variable. X is being multiplied by 6, so the opposite is to divide by 6. Should cancel out on the side with the variable. On the left side, 204 divided by 6 is 34. One more where we're given the output here. So we're given an output value of 94, so our y value on the left should be 94. We don't know x, so equals 6x minus 8. Now we have our two-step equation we need to solve. Highlighting the side with the variable, always starting with the constant. If we're subtracting 8, the opposite is to add 8 to both sides. Should cancel out on the side with the variable. Bring down what's left, so 6x equals 94 plus 8 is 102. Highlighting the side with the variable. X is being multiplied by 6, so the opposite is to divide by 6. Should cancel out on the side with the variable. 102 divided by 6 is 17. So our input is 17. All right, new one. We're going to highlight the side, our variables here. So I'm going to highlight my inputs in one color and my outputs in another. And plug in our values. So again, we're starting with given our input, plugging that in where x is, so we don't know y, equals 5 times our x value of 12 minus 22. Now we're going to evaluate. 5 times 12 is 60. 60 minus 22 is 38. So our output value is 38. Now let's look at it when we're given the output. We have to plug it in on the left here where y is. So 133 equals, we don't know x, so 5x minus 22. Now we have a two-step equation that we need to solve. So I'm going to highlight the side with the variable. We always start with the constant. So we're subtracting 22. The opposite is to add 22 to both sides. Should cancel out on the side with the variable. Bring down what's left, so 5x. And on the left, we're going to add 133 plus 22 is 155. We're going to highlight the side with our variable. X is being multiplied by 5, so the opposite is to divide by 5. It should cancel out on the side with the variable. Then we divide on the left. 155 divided by 5 is 31. So our input value is 31. Let's do this again with a different value. So we're given an output of 73. So our y value on the left is 73. We don't know x, so equals 5x minus 22. Again, we've got our two-step function that we need to solve. I'm going to highlight the side with the variable. Always start with the constant. We're subtracting 22, so the opposite is to add 22 to both sides. On the right side, we're left with 5x. On the left side, 73 plus 22 is 95. Highlight the side with the variable. X is being multiplied by 5, so the opposite is to divide by 5. On the right side, should cancel out. We're left with x. On the left, 95 divided by 5 is 19, so our input is 19. Let's do one more set. So I'm going to highlight the variables. So our x is in yellow here. Our outputs are y's in pink to show where they plug in the function. Plug in. So here we're given our input of 8. We're plugging in for x. So we don't know y. We know that x is 8. So 2 times 8 plus 15. And we're going to evaluate. 2 times 8 is 16. Bring down the plus 15. 16 plus 15 is 31. This time we're given the output of 18, so we're plugging that in for y on the left. We don't know x, so equals 2x plus 15. We've got a two-step equation that we need to solve. I'm going to highlight the side that has our variable. Always start with the constant. We have plus 15, so the opposite is to subtract 15 from both sides. Should cancel out on the side with the variable. 18 minus 15 is 3. So I'm going to highlight the side with the variable. X is being multiplied by 2, so the opposite is to divide by 2. Should cancel out on the side with the variable. Here we get 3 over 2, which is not a whole number, but you've got a calculator can do it for you. 3 divided by 2 is 1.5. One last one here. We're given our output value of 242 that we plug in for y. We don't know what x is, so equals 2x plus 15. Now we've got our two-step equation that we need to solve, highlighting the side that has the variable. Always start with our constant. We're adding 15, so the opposite is to subtract 15 from both sides. Should cancel out on the side with the variable. Bring down what's left, which is 2x. On the left side, 242 minus 15 is 227. Then I'm going to highlight the side with the variable. X is being multiplied by 2, so the opposite is to divide by 2. Should cancel out on the side with the variable. On the left side, 227 divided by 2 is 113.5. There's no U-try for this, so just go ahead and start working on the attached 1- and 2-step function enrichment homework.